Here's a quick training video on spreadsheet dashboards. Today we're going to look at an expense data set and create this dashboard here that has a spreadsheet on the left side and then drills into all kinds of charts and has cross filtering affecting the spreadsheet. And we're going to look at some of those capabilities and how to wire this up. So to start off with, we're just going to go in here and we're going to load the example data set expenses, which is actually a pretty interesting data set. It's the expenses for an entire robotics company with 20 factory buildings and all the expenses for the employees, for the raw materials, operating expenses, all these things. It's quite fun. It's made synthetically, so it's a great example set. And so to start off with, we're just going to make our dashboard. So let's start off, and we're divided in thirds this way, and in the middle we're divided in half. So pretty straightforward. The first thing we're going to make is this expenses chart. Well, let's do an easy one first. Expenses over time is pretty easy. So we'll start with this. We'll rename this to be expenses, okay? And so if we want to see the expense amount over time, we just have our date and our amount. And typically we do a group sum when we do this, which will group sum it by day, and because we can have multiple expenses the same day. So we'll get it'll be better if we do that. Group sum it, and then we have the date and the amount. But the problem is we're grouping by the amount. So we need to group by the date. Set that. Okay, now we have our dates, and you can see it's day by day. And we'll just go make a chart off of here. So we just take this and we're going to make a line chart, create, and we'll just throw it into the dashboard. I think it was here. Turn on our preview, and here we took off here. I'm going to control click on this. I'm going to turn off the legend. Don't really need that. And I'm going to, yeah, we've rotated the text a little bit here. So I'll go on the x-axis and I'm going to rotate the label. I think it's rotated like that. Looks great. And so, and also it's red. I guess we can change that just for completeness. Oh, this is the line, not the marker. We don't have a marker here. So I'll just grab that. It's kind of a magenta-y red. Okay. And I can pull this down a little bit just to center that a little better in the chart. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is a little bit tougher, which is this expenses. So we want to compare the total expenses versus the manufacturing expenses. So that's kind of an interesting thing. So if we want to get the manufacturing expenses, let's just do that. So we've got our raw data, and we've got our amount versus our expenses, right? So we've got the amount versus, and how are they broken up? They're broken up by quarter, which we have here. And we want to do the filtering on the department, right? So this manufacturing is the department here. So I'm going to create a cross-link, and I'm going to group sum it based on the quarter here. So pull that over. And so we've group summed it on the department, but we want to filter out. I'm just going to comment this out for a second, put a pound symbol there. And I want to just get the manufacturing record. So I can go look at my recipes, and I've got this filter recipe. I'm going to stick it up here. And we can say if it equals manufacturing. So I'll copy that, paste that here. And if we're filtering the wrong column. So look, if we look at our inputs, we need to filter the department. And then if we run that, okay. So now we just have all the manufacturing records, which is great. And the other one we want to do, we can just, and then we can group sum it. And we have to group sum off the right part. We want to group sum off the quarter here. Okay. Hold on. What's happening here? Okay, this is our input. This is what our output. Oh, I'm filtering on the wrong column. So I'm filtering on CC. But if I look at my input, I want to filter by BB. So there we go. Now my output, I've got the right results. And then I can group sum on CC here. And then we will have the amount for the manufacturing department. Now I can copy this and pull these, pull this over here. So now I can just get the amount per quarter for everything. So this is just the full one, right? And so then I've got that value. So you can see that the amount is more for all of them than for just the manufacturing department. So to pull those together into that bar chart here, I'll just go to our dash. Well, I can just start building the chart. So this one is all the expenses. So I'll just grab that, create a bar chart. And then if we want to add multiple groups, I click on the edit button there and I add another one. And so we can call this one, it was called all or total, which is, and this one is going to be manufacturing. And here we're going to go to our other tab, which is the manufacturing filtered ones. And the labels are going to be the quarter and the amount. And then if we look at that, we've got that all together. We've exactly matched that. And we can drag it into our dashboard. We can hit control and then here I'm going to zoom in on this here, mouse wheel zoom, and then I can just go grab the when I click on the shape, I can just pick the color off of this here. There we go. Click here, click F4. Now we're on the full dashboard. Hit F. I'm looking at all of it. Okay, so the next piece we're going to do is this is the amount by the subcategory, which we go over here. So we can take the amount and the subcategory, and pretty simple. It's just a group sum, create, and there's a lot of them. And so I can make a chart, a new bar. I can click horizontal right here, or I can also just click it here later. This bar order, we want to sort it, and here, and I don't like to do the, when I start visually tuning, I want to see it in the dashboard context. See, and so then you can move over to here and hit control, and then when you click on here and tune the settings, then you're going to more accurately see what's going on there. Okay, and these ones we just want to click on the settings, and I think the bars are just a little bit thinner, a little bit rounder, and the color again is matching this this color here. Okay, so finally I'm hitting F4 and then F to full screen my dashboard again. So finally we want to build this spreadsheet over here. So to look at that, we're gonna start off and grab a sheet, and we're gonna say department and amount. Okay, and we're gonna set that so the background color is gray, and we're gonna make it bold. Okay, and then we're gonna put, what we're gonna do is we're gonna build these, and we're gonna build these from cross-filtered sheets. It's just a little bit easier, and then we can pull different cross filters together in one spreadsheet. So to do that, we're going to cross filter the department by the amount. Okay, and I'm going to create a cross link, and I'm going to group sum it. And so I've got that here, but I'm going to ignore this, like this is the expenses that had no department. I'm going to ignore that. So what we're going to do is pull our spreadsheet over on one side. I'm hitting the plus key to make it a little bigger. And then we're going to say, okay, what is our global expenses? And that's going to be, so to do this, we're just going to say equals. So we're just going to write an Excel formula, basically, which is a sum if. And I'm just going to pick this up if this equals global. So it's going to be this column here, and then comma equals global, And then if it does, the result is going to be this column. And so we get that. The other equals. Yeah, it's better off not to, like, we could just try and click off this exact cell. Like, we could go for B2, but it's better not to do it that way, because this data can be expanding and contracting as expenses are flowing live into the system. So it's better just to search for that value. So it's saying, going down saying, if you see global, give me that number. And so that worked well. And so then we can go down and then copy these values here, right? And so we can put this in here, and we can just say, I can actually paste these down, I believe. And then I can just go in here and say, okay, grab this text. If this equals finance, then grab that value. If this equals, well, we want to take the global the second time out. Okay, good. And if this one equals human resources, so I'll grab that text. I think I can just select it that way and paste in here. Paste, enter. Okay, if this one equals IT, here we go. Okay, enter. And you can see the numbers are lining up, right? This one's going to be legal. Copy, legal. Okay, enter. Manufacturing. Enter it in. Click the end, enter. Marketing. Almost done. All right. QA. Okay. Okay. And all of just a slightly more. And what's cool about this is, so we've sort of lifted this data off the database and off the live data into the spreadsheet, is now we can do stuff. We could say, well, total, and then say, and then just say, hey, equals sum, and grab all these guys. And there we go. And we can put this, we can format this a bit. We can say, grab this, grab a light color, and we can bold it. Okay, so we're going to add a few more things. We're just going to add here this other category. And I'm going to copy these here just to simplify things. Category and amount. And so I'm going to do a similar thing here. I'm going to come over to expenses, and I'm just going to create a cross link and group sum these. And so now I've got all this. And so then I can come and drag this to one side. And then I've got my spreadsheet over here, and I can just grab all these. Okay. And it's sort of a similar thing. I can copy this expense actually, because I'm just going to lift these values off of here. But instead it's going to be here, and it's going to, this value is going to equal this. And I'm going to hit enter. It's going to be 0 because there's no global. But now I can go into here and then stick in capital expense. And now I've lifted the capital expense value. So it's kind of neat because it's this, here, I'll just drag this down. It's sort of a hybrid of a database kind of workflow, a way of thinking, but also this is how you would do it in Excel as well. So it's just very simple and easy. That's right, manufacturing is just big. Here we go. Operating expenses, raw materials. And there we go. We've got our spreadsheet. And same thing, I'm going to copy this total, paste it in, except we're not going to sum it there. We're going to sum it here. And we can format these, for example, to be a number that is comma separated. Probably they should all be comma separated. Here, format cells, number, comma separated with a $sign. Okay, and we can do the same thing here. I'm right clicking to do this. Format cells, number, comma separated $sign. All right, so now what we want to do, I'm going to hit F4, or I'm just going to drag this into the center. Now we're just going to work on the spreadsheet for a minute. So you see it says dashboard off. So what we want to do is just drag a selection and we want to turn dashboard on and click this set area, and this is the area that's going to be in the dashboard, and we just go grab this area, hit enter, and you see it's grays out everything else. Then we can go over to our dashboard and just drag that in. Now, how do we tune this? Well, we just double click on here. We want it to fill the layout, right? So we can fit to the pane and have this padding, or we can just have none, and it's in the bottom left, and then we can control the just have it sit there like a spreadsheet, or we've got this neat stretch to pane, and it's just nice. So then they can come in, and those values it just fits the dashboard however the person is stretching it. Okay, so let's publish our dashboard, and okay, I'll call it spreadsheet 01 publish, and pull that over, and we can see as we click on all these different pieces, they perfectly cross filter and update the spreadsheet. I hope you found this video helpful.